you are interested in buying this camera. And I get it, you're probably a beginner photographer or a travel photographer slash filmmaker, or you're planning to start your own YouTube channel. Either way, I'm sure that you watch a ton of reviews on YouTube. But let me tell you something, this review is different. Yo, what's up? I'm Gabi, you're watching Ray Studios, and this is the Sony ZV E10 review. So you may be wondering, how is this review different from all these other reviews that you already watch? Well, first, I pay in full for this camera, while most of these other reviewers that you probably already watch, Sony send the camera to them and they kind of like play around a little bit and they give their opinion on it. In the other hand, I not only pay for it, but previously having this camera, I have the Sony a6400, the Sony a6300, and I review somewhere around 50 to 60 lenses for this camera system. So I'm quite experienced. While some of these other influencers, they have bigger, more expensive cameras, and they don't really spend much time with these kind of smaller, cheaper, more entry-level cameras. So with that being said, let's do a quick unboxing. Inside the box, we have some documentation, then we have the charging cable, which is a Type-C connection, together with the USB plug. We have a battery, and we also have a strap so you can hang the camera from your neck. We have the windshield cover that mounts directly on top of the camera, and the camera itself, which I got with the kit lens. Well, I haven't quite prepared a script for this video, and I just wanted to have a honest conversation between you and me, just you and me, okay? So first, let's talk about design and what I think about the design. The camera shrink compared to the Sony a6000 series of cameras, and is smaller, it's lighter. The materials they used to build this camera, they're a bit plasticky. They're a lot plasticky compared to the previous a6000 series of cameras, but I think they're fine. Like, I really don't care. It makes the camera lighter. I think if you drop the camera, it will break, but so it will with pretty much any camera. I mean, it's a camera. Don't throw your camera. Okay. Now, another thing that I really like about this camera is that now the screen is fully articulated, and that's a huge advantage. And it's a huge advantage regardless of if you are a YouTuber, a blogger, or I've been using for taking pictures, and it's so comfortable shooting low. I've been shooting low, I've been shooting high. So the swivel screen is so much better than the previous screen that just comes up, and you know, you don't have that much angles in there. I really like it. The quality of the screen seems to be a little bit better. It's a little bit brighter, which I appreciate, considering that we don't have a viewfinder anymore. So the screen being brighter is very important. You're outdoors, you're in the sun, you're not gonna see much of the screen. So you might need to kind of block the sun a little bit, and you know, one of the disadvantages of the Sony ZV E10 is that no viewfinder. I really don't care that much. Like, I've been taking some pictures with this camera, and every now and then I just go like, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like there is no viewfinder. But now we have a few new stuff on the top that we didn't have before, which is the new Sony hot shoe mount adapter or interface here on the top, that you can now put some microphones in there without having the need to put a cable. Talking about the cables, you have a traditional mic, like the one I'm using right now, like a lavalier. You can connect that here, and because this door open right there, it doesn't quite get on the way. Well, it gets a little on the way, but not by much, so you can still screen the camera. I mean, if I plug a microphone here, this should push this that way, and you can rotate the screen easily. Then we also have here a Type-C connection, so you can charge the camera just like plug in there, charge it with a power bank. We have a mini, I think it's a micro HDMI, and we have something new here. We have headphone jack connections, something that my a6400, which is much more expensive, didn't have. So you can see how this camera is a bit more filmmaking centric, like more like oriented towards video. Another great thing that is oriented towards video, and I guess in this case towards bloggers, is that we have a 3-capsule microphone here on the top. We have a grill right there. And this mic it performs a little bit better than the microphone I have in the camera I'm using right now. I'm using a Canon EOS R6. But the great thing is that this came included in the box, like you've seen in the boxing. We can put that there, and now we can talk on very windy days. We are outdoors. Basically, when you're outdoors and it's windy, that's it. You just cannot, the audio is terrible unless you have a microphone. But now, by having this in your pocket, in your backpack, it's like, oh, I didn't bring my microphone, but I have this in. You get away with this. You get away with the audio being just fine. So for bloggers, this is huge. I remember many occasions where I wanted to talk when I'm taking my camera outdoors and I'm filming cool B-roll, and then I just want to turn around and say something, and I realize it's too windy and I just cannot do that. So this is a big advantage right here for the Sony camera. I think the mics on top, people saying like, oh, the 3 capsule microphone. You can barely tell the difference between this and some other cameras. I mean, it's better, but not by much. This is a blogging sample using the Canon EOS R6, and I'm using the inbuilt microphone. By the way, I'm also using the mantispod from PGY Tech. If you are into blogging, that thing is a must-have. Review somewhere in there, and I'll put the link in the description down below in case you want to buy it. And now I'm gonna quickly switch to the Sony ZV E10. I have now switched to the Sony ZV E10. What you're listening now, that is the 3 capsule microphone on top of the camera, so it's the inbuilt microphone. How does it sound like? Let me know in the comment section down below. By the way, I'm using the kit lens so you can see how stable it is. This is just a standard stabilization. So the optical stabilization, there is no digital stabilization added because it will have too much of a crop, and I don't like the crop. Now, for your reference, this is the iPhone 12 mini, and always I'm shooting at 4K, 24 frames per second, so for consistency, and always using the same mantispod from PGY Tech, so it should be all more or less the same. And you can check the different levels of stabilization. I have the different inbuilt microphones of the 2 cameras and my iPhone sounds like, and so you can have a nice comparison and you make your own conclusions. Then the whole interface here, before you will turn the camera from here, now there's a zoom, which if you're on video, you can use it as a digital zoom, because this camera basically shoots 6K video and internally downsample to 4K. So this makes use of this like extra resolution. By the way, the video is very sharp, just like in any other Sony a6000 series of camera, at least the latest ones. So you can use digital zoom without losing any quality. That's pretty good. The thing here is, I'm not used to it, I guess. That also controls the power zoom on my camera. Let's turn this on. So now you turn it on from here. You can see how I'm still trying to like figure it out. So I can control the zoom from here. Also have a power button here. And now I can also control it from here. So if you don't have a lens that have a power zoom like this one, this will do a digital zoom. The problem with that is that quite often I accidentally zoom in and out while shooting video. So I don't know, maybe I should disable this. I'm not sure. Okay, let me turn off this camera for now. Then we have here this defocus settings or feature that basically you just click a button and everything in the background just melted down. I mean, if you use a fast lens, you will notice that very, very good. And I guess for beginners, that's really cool. I use my camera always in fully manual settings. I like to operate everything on the camera, from white balance to the aperture, the ISO, the shutter speed. So that doesn't do anything for me, but the good thing is that you can customize all the buttons on this camera. So I already have it for magnification for when I use manual lenses. So if you are like me, a bit more with more knowledge on photography and filmmaking, you don't need to like stuck with this function. You can just change it to something else. Now, the way we change between different modes, before we have a wheel here on top, a wheel like this one, but now we have a button that just go from photo to video to S&Q. And at the beginning I was like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, what is my wheel? And I got used to it really quick. It's simple. I mean, the 3 things that you use the most, which is photo, filming, and slow motion or time lapses. Then here on the back, it looks almost the same. There is missing a couple of buttons, I guess. the EV and the EV lock and AF lock here. That sometimes I will use that, especially for photography, sometimes for video, but it's fine. Like I said, you can always customize some of the buttons. Now the trash bin have this feature where you can, it's called a product showcase. So you can show a product, just go like this, and it will show the product. See here, the Canon EOS R6 stay on my face, like I'm showing a product, and it's like, come on, show the product. So I have to block my face entirely for the camera to grab the other camera. You know what I'm trying to say? With product showcasing, you can basically show and still have your face in the image, and the camera will recognize that you're showing something. I will quickly switch to that. Here is an example of that. Now I have switched to the Sony ZV E10, which is recording me right now. Before I was using the Canon EOS R6 with the 35mm f1.8 RF, and this camera and this lens combination is somewhere around $3,000. The camera and lens combination I'm using right now is somewhere around $1,000. So this is 3 times the price. I wonder, is it 3 times the quality? Another one thing is I'm using auto white balance. I haven't had time to do a custom white balance for the camera, because I just quickly swap them. One thing to remark about the Sony ZV E10 is that it's now, the colors are so much better than before. So Sony, with each camera that they release, the colors keep improving and improving, and right now it's like Canon color science. I mean, it's not like it's the same, but the quality got really high. Like, I wouldn't be worried about Sony colors anymore like I was in the past, like with the Sony a6300, that the colors were, with the Sony a6400 they got a lot better, and now they're like spot on. The colors are great. Like I said, I'm using auto white balance, and I have colorful lights behind me, so it will be very impressive if the colors are good right now. But that being said, what I'm trying to say is, like, the auto white balance in general works very well. Well, that's what I'm testing right now as well. We are both gonna find out, probably me on editing, you watching this video, if the colors come through on this video. But generally speaking, I would say that the colors are really good. Another thing that I want to show you is this right here. Not this camera, but the product showcase. You see that my face is still on the frame, but it's focusing on the camera. And as soon as I go down, back to me, the focus just quickly go back into my face. By the way, the focus speed can be set on this camera, and I have it set to normal. When the camera came out of the box, it's set to fast, and I bring it a little bit down because it was too fast. And it's weird to say that cameras nowadays, the focusing is just, they're too snappy. So basically, look how fast that is. This is set to medium. Like, I think there are 7 levels, and I set it up to 4. And you see how fast that is. I have to slow it down so that focus transition is like somewhere more organic, more normal. But before, I will have to hold the camera blocking my face, which is kind of weird because I don't know what I'm showing. But now I can just hold it here. My face is still on the frame, perfectly fine. And I can say this, whatever. I can see on the screen now. Whenever I'm done, I just keep talking, focus back into me. The focus is just so good. I mean, best autofocus camera, period. And I'm holding a Canon EOS R6 on my right hand, so I know what I'm talking about. The autofocus is just so good. Well, I guess that's about it. That's all I have to say about this camera. Like I say, no script. It's just me talking to my good friends. That is my audience, you guys watching at home. I want to know what you think about that. Why don't you let me know in the comment section down below? Do you like this camera? Are you still planning on buying it? I feel like it got a lot of bad reviews on YouTube for some reason, but I think it's pretty good actually. I'll be probably making some vlogs with this camera, so make sure to subscribe so you can watch those if you want to watch more content filmed with this camera. I'm going to be shooting some pictures. As a matter of fact, I'm reviewing this lens, the Viltrox 23mm f1.4, the one I'm using right now to shoot this video, and it's such a good lens. It's a must-have, so also stay tuned if you have this camera or some other Sony apsc cameras. That's a highly recommended lens. That review is coming up soon. Yeah, that's it. Gabi out.